r/Askreddit. People who don't flush public toilets, what the fuck? First off, this experience was in 2010, so well before the poop knife legend. I had a coworker in my last job that normally didn't bother. I had known this guy for nearly 3 years and didn't know this about him until I experienced his absolute horror. This guy took massive shits. I walked into a stall one day, and there was a straight-up solid single-piece Duraflame log just marinating in the bowl. I flushed it, and it just slightly bent like one of those pool noodles when you put some weight on one while trying to go down the hole. I suddenly didn't have to poo anymore. I come back out to the shop floor and call out, "Okay, it's 11 p.m, there's only so many of us here right now. Who did that in the middle stall, and do you need stitches?" That was when he confessed. My shits have always been like that, I don't know why. I guess I need to figure out a way to aim it so it starts to go in the drain at the bottom to give it a better chance of going down. I don't even take a crap at my own house because of this. I always go to a nearby gas station. I worked in one workplace where there was someone who would regularly shit on the toilet seat. They must have been hovering or squatting. Sometimes they would try to wipe it off, but this would result in the entire seat being covered in shit smears. This was a bathroom with only 2 stalls. There was also one person who never ever washed their hands after using the bathroom. Most people believed the one known as Poo Hands was also the shit goblin. We used to have a guy at work who was a germaphobe, so he always hovered to shit. But he didn't miss, so I don't know. I gotta ask. How do you know this? He was pretty open about it. He spread them cheeks for the office. You don't? Where I work, we hire a lot of temps during the holidays. Ever since this group of temps came, my coworkers and I keep finding unflushed turds in the toilet. The strangest thing is, every time it's just 1 or 2 big turds floating in the toilet with no toilet paper. So apparently we have a serial no flush no wipe monster at our workplace. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but don't want to say anything until I'm certain it's him. I once walked into a stall, only to be graced with a poop that can simply be described as the size of Shaq's shoe. I tried to flush, but they were simply too large, so I left to find a different stall. I wept for the janitor that day. You didn't look around for the poop knife? Long live the poop knife. In poop knife we trust. Just 2 weeks ago I walked into a bathroom stall, and the lid was down, and there was shit on it. Someone sat on the fucking toilet lid and shit there and left. It was at my job, so I had to clean it up. It was my literal I don't get paid enough for this shit moment. I used to clean workplaces once they were closed, and a good amount of that work included cleaning toilets. I swear to God that takes you from a good-natured life-loving optimistic to misanthrope in a few weeks. Edit. Thanks Reddit, now I doubled my 2.5 years worth of karma on a comment about scraping shit. The amount of people who just have raging diarrhea is astounding. The splashback of the diarrhea on the rest of the toilet, the seat, all around the bowl, etc., is wild. These people need to see their doctors. Yeah, and please people, wipe the excess while it's not dried yet, and that it's yours. You know how degrading it is to scrape someone else's shit because they think they're worth a lot more than you are? Dude, it was so dried on, and the bleach smell mixed with the shit smell. It was like 4 a.m. I wanted to curl up and cry because the smell burned so deep into my nose. I used to work at a Whataburger in small town, and said town probably had about 7 to 8 travel stations/gas stations with large restrooms while we only had a urinal and a stall. So some fucking douchebag decides to stop at our Whataburger to shit, and solely because someone was in the stall the dude decided to shit in the urinal. I walked in on him, pants down, shit everywhere. Walked out and grabbed some bleach and a mop bucket and told him, you can either clean your fucking mess, or I'm calling the fucking cops. Dude told me to fuck off and clean it up myself cause I'm not worth nothing. And boy oh fucking boy, since this was small town USA, I had a city cop and a sheriff within 2 minutes of me calling them. I've never had a better moment in my life sitting there with those cops, and the rest of the people in the restaurant watching some guy clean his own shit. What was even better was that he had a wife and kids waiting outside for him to finish cleaning his shit. The sheer look of embarrassment on their face was absolutely priceless. Edit, didn't think this would get so popular so quick. The sheriff that stopped him from driving out retired a few years ago, and to this day, this is still one of his favorite stories to tell people when we go to church picnics, weddings, etc. Next time I see him, I'm gonna have to tell him how much y'all liked it. I went into a public loo once where somebody had lined the inside of the toilet bowl with tin foil and gone about their business. At best, flushing wouldn't have worked, at worst it would have caused an overflow. It was quite thoroughly lined. Some people must simply derive enjoyment from knowing they have created a literal shitstorm somewhere and got away with it. This is the most nonsensical thing I have ever heard. LMFAO. It was to stop the 5G from reaching the computer chips in his stool. Gotta stop the government from sending their radio waves up your bunghole. I am sorry to say that one time, I was this person. I sat down, did my business, got back up, reached for the handle, and it wasn't there. They had installed new, automatic toilets. I looked for the little black flush button. Couldn't find it. I waved at the sensor. Didn't work. I sat down, then got back up. Nothing. I spent a good 5 minutes just trying to get the toilet to flush, but to no avail. Ashamed, I left the stall knowing I was that person and prayed the next person was smarter than me. Turns out, there's a button at the top that blends in perfectly with the pipework, painted metallic and everything. This is a great example of how as a species, we outthink ourselves to the point it's ridiculous. Hey Bob, I got an idea. You know what's really obnoxious? What, Joe? Looking at a toilet and seeing the button you use to flush. So insulting. Let's make it almost invisible. I have been that person before. And it haunts me to this day. It was at a cross-country running race at St. Norbert's in the U.S. Midwest Conference in the fall of 2012. There was one toilet and one urinal for everyone, males, to use, so there was a line and an amount of pressure to go as quick as possible. When it was my turn, I pooped, trying to be quick, and I was nervous about the race, so I left without flushing. Then I made eye contact with the person who went next. I absolutely believe they thought I did it on purpose. And the best/worst part of this, the next day, on Reddit, I saw a 4-panel full comic about that exact moment, and I am convinced that the comic was made by the man who I stared down after leaving my steaming poo in the toilet for him. If you are out there, victim of my barbarism, I am truly sorry. I worked retail many years and wound up in a literal fight with a customer that shit all over the seat and floor. While I was cleaning the bathroom, I was going stall to stall and he ran in, blew it up, and couldn't understand why I was giving him the cleaning cart when he came out. I was like, dude. He pushed the cart into me and said he didn't work there. I pushed it through him and said I don't get paid to clean up after animals. And it was on. You got in a physical fight with someone that probably had shit all over their hands? LOL. Damn. You just made that memory even worse. Thanks.